Okay, let's get into the stock market technical analysis. It's been a few days since I put out a video, so I'll get one out. However, guys, I have been very active in the private member group. I've been posting and lots of charts every single day. So if you're interested in getting, that additional market insight, more timely trades, I can post in there a lot easier than it takes me to kind of put this video together, compile it, and then get it up on YouTube. So link in the description below. That's how you get access to the private member group. It's $5 a month. It's basically as cheap as I can pretty much make it, while not giving it away completely for free. So check it out if you're interested. All right, so here's what I want to kind of point out today. On the daily chart, obviously we are, we're dropping, but I do see a decent amount of proof that we could start a rally, a kind of a counter trend rally. I do believe the trend is down. It's very obvious when you look at long-term charts that the trend is down. I'll cover that, but I think we're going to get a counter trend rally, which could be a pretty impulsive kind of a bear market rally, which usually they just go straight up. Usually they just kind of shoot straight up while you have shorts late to the party, shorts covering, and then buy the dip people coming in. So let me kind of point out on the Qs, daily is obviously we're well below the 200-day moving average. We have broken, we've broken through a lot of these supports. That former trading range of 500 was support, sliced through that. That's where I think the rally goes to. If we get a rally, I think we can get up to that level or at least near it. And but on the daily, clearly we have, taken out some key levels of support. And we're having several days below the 200. We haven't seen that for rolling back. Since basically the last bear market in 2023. And now we have that. So that's the daily chart. Let me go to the hourly. On the hourly, couple things that are lining up right now. You can see here, if I zoom in, we just recently made a slightly lower low. See the wicks, the two wicks on the hourly candles? Slightly lower low in price, and that's from that former hourly candle there. But clear bullish divergence now on the hourly chart, on the RSI, and also on the PPO. So we have bullish divergence just starting to show up now on both momentum indicators. Now that can continue. There's no breakout or anything. There's no buy signals on the hourly chart. We just have a divergent low. But usually when you get divergence, that's where the rallies kind of start from. A definitive buy signal would come on, there's kind of two areas. You can buy on support, which would be this downtrend line here, or you can buy on breaks of resistance, which I have marked in blue. Okay, so a definitive breakout above this downtrend line, about 478-ish, if we get there soon, would be a buy signal, and then that very likely would send us up to I believe about that 500. There's lots of resistance overhead. 500's big resistance. It was huge support, and now it's big resistance. So that's where I see the rally going, and that would be, depending on, if you catch the breakout, it would be a rally of about 4.5%, and that might kind of alleviate some of the fear, because again, markets, unless we're going to just completely crash, we're pretty stretched. Go back to the daily chart here. We're oversold on the RSI. It can become more oversold, but you look at the PPO, and the last time we were basically down this far is probably way down here in the bear market. That in bear markets you can get oversold and you can continue to remain more oversold. I do think we can easily get more oversold, but as of right now, decently oversold. Okay, so that is, that's the hourly and kind of what I'm looking for. Let me go down to the 5-minute, and I'll just show you guys what I think's going on. So on the 5-minute, again, there's your downtrend line, lots of reactions. This is today's price action, basically. And you can see there's your bullish, we were going down in price, no real divergences, just downward momentum, basically, here. But then as we kind of recently dipped and made that new low, we made it on higher momentum. So there's the divergence, bullish divergence on the 5-minute. And then there's a breakout. That's technically a buy signal on the 5-minute. So, you know, this is short term, but I could see us starting to start that rally up to, you know, that resistance level. It's about 478-ish on the hourly chart. Okay, so maybe something like that, work our way up there. That blue line is that resistance level on the hourly. You'd need to see a break above that in order to get that buy signal for a rally, you know. But maybe we're doing that now. Maybe we're working our way up to there. You'll probably get a reaction there, a little pullback. But ultimately, I have a feeling it's going to break and we are going to get a rally. So just kind of something to look for. And obviously, you know, I'm a firm believer because of the weighting of tech. Where tech goes, the market kind of follows. So I do think, again, I think it's time for tech to rally. Here's Amazon on the daily chart sitting at support. We've been sitting there for a few days now. Decent support there. And then if you drop down to the hourly, bullish divergence there on the hourly. That's been building for a while. So that's a bullish setup. You know, I think Amazon could rally. Where do we go? Well, you know, we have this trend line in red on the daily chart. That was our upward trend line. So I think a potential back test of that trend line would make sense. That would be a move of about 12%. So that's a possibility there. Google, or let me GOOGL. Again, this one has this looks to me like a bullish falling wedge on the daily chart. And you can see we're just starting to get some bullish divergence there on the daily, on the RSI, and not really on the PPO. But if I drop down to the hourly, you can see bullish divergence there on the hourly chart. So again, you know, we can, just because we have divergence doesn't mean we're going to rally right now. We can continue to build and make lower lows. So keep that in mind, but it's definitely set up for the rally. So yeah, this one obviously a break above this downtrend line, and this one the trend line is not even that great. I only have 2 reactions, so for me it's kind of, I'm not trading this one specifically. It's kind of just keep an eye on it. Meta bullish divergence there on the hourly. You can see it there on the RSI. It's there on the PPO as well. So again, yeah, we could rally. I think this rally is going to get sold into. You know, if we do get it, I think it'll get sold into. But Meta, this is the daily chart. You could do a back test of the trend line that it just broke down from. Okay, so I see that. Microsoft, daily chart. No bullish divergence really on the daily, but you go to the hourly and you clearly have it. So these are signs. I'm just seeing it across the board on these Mag 7s. And that's kind of an indicator to me. Apple, this one, this has been a weaker one. I don't see, this one doesn't look too bullish. So, you know, we just need the majority of the mags to rally, and you know, you'll get the snapback rally in Apple as well. It's just starting to show up, the bullish divergence right there on the RSI, and it's not on the PPO. So maybe a little more downside on that one. Tesla on the hourly, I don't really see. I mean, we had some bullish divergence, you know, that's been building there on the RSI, nothing on the PPO. So that one, again, is not that interesting, kind of messy there. That one's kind of tied up in some political stuff as well. So, you know, who knows about that one. For me, that's kind of a no touch. Nvidia, and Nvidia's been rallying. It's actually, you look across the board, Nvidia's strong today. And I've used Nvidia as kind of a leading indicator of the market strength or weakness. I talked about how the market wasn't going to fall. The triple Qs wasn't going to fall until Nvidia broke, and Nvidia obviously did break down. But equally, if the market gets a sense that Nvidia has put in a near-term bottom and it can rally a little bit, then the market will follow. The big cap tech stocks will follow, or they should at least. On Nvidia, again, hourly chart, there's your bullish divergence. You can see we just recently made a new low. That was yesterday, actually, and today it's rallying. So, Yeah, that makes sense. You get divergence, and usually you get a divergent low. They're usually going to buy it. AVGO. This one's actually been the strongest of these Mag 7s. I have to go to the daily to show you, but on the daily, you have an uptrend line, and it has not broken. All right, that uptrend. This is a very long-term trend line. This goes back to, well, I guess it's about the same, but it goes back to October of 2022, and it is clearly still intact. So as I zoom in, they've been testing support over the last few days, and it has held so far. So, with the posture of the other Mag 7s, I think this will probably hold support, and you could get kind of another rally here up to, I'd probably put the odds pretty decent. 213.50-ish. It would be the end of it. Always could go test the highs, but for now, that's where I'd target, and then come back down. So if it does this, it rallies, and let's say it comes back down, I'd put very good odds that at that point in time, it's actually going to break trend. Here's kind of another tell. MSTR, very speculative stock. It's pretty much a Bitcoin proxy. This company basically just buys Bitcoin, and it's up today. So kind of like Nvidia, some of these risk-on key stocks, they're up. Not up big, but the fact that it's not just getting dumped on is really the tell to me. And then we'll check SMCI. That one's down, so mixed signals on some of these, but the fact that MSTR one's up is very interesting. I like AMD as a long. If I look at the daily, we just barely held on to it, but there is bullish divergence there on the daily chart, on the RSI, and pretty close that you're on the PPO as well. AMD was really one of the weaker semiconductor stocks. It actually topped back in March of last year, and it's from the all-time highs, at least the close, it is down 55%. So that's pretty good for a drop. You go back and look at kind of past drops in this thing. This was during 2021. There's a 66% drop. Here's another drop. That's about 30%. You just kind of go back and look at when we had these drops. Here's one here, 50%. So that's, that doesn't mean it can't drop more, but it has sold off quite a bit. And you do have bullish divergence now on the daily chart. Let me go down to the hourly. You can see clearly there's bullish divergence there on the hourly as well. So you've got a series of divergent lows. There's one. There's another. These can continue. We can continue to put in divergent lows, but as of right now, definitely a bullish setup. So I would put decent odds that we rally to the trend line. And then let me go back to the daily. That's your daily downtrend line. And then a break above that would be a buy signal for a potential bear market rally. This thing, I think it could rally all the way up to here, about 131.58. Very good resistance there. You also have resistance at 116.90. So those would be my two targets. Probably there, get a reaction, and then final target would be up there at 132. Costco is kind of interesting. It's hitting the 200-day moving average. It's clearly on a sell signal. You had this trend line and this big bearish rising wedge, and that's been broken. But I think it's probably going to get a snapback rally off this 200. It's below it right now, but I think you do probably recover and back. I would say a back test of the trend line, and that would be the objective short. So as far as I can tell, we're going to get a rally, and then we're going to get another opportunity to load back into shorts when nobody else wants to short, when everybody thinks the sell-off is over. That's when you want to be short. We don't want to short when we're just plunging and everybody's panicking. I see in all the news, everybody's talking about we haven't seen capitulation. We haven't seen panics, tons of panic selling. We're likely not going to see it initially. We're going to see that towards the end of the drop. Usually when bear markets start, you don't get that kind of selling in the very beginning. All right, you get the dip buyers step in, and that's kind of, you know, coming off of a very strong uptrend, there's people waiting to buy the dip. And so that's what I think we rally, then work our way lower. We'll see the panic selling when we're really down in, you know, after the dip buy the dip crowd keeps getting burned. That's when we start seeing panic selling. But I don't think we're anywhere near that. So I'm still leaning towards that rally. I mean, on this one, also, the measured target is the widest part of the wedge. Got to kind of clean up some of these lines, but if I see if I can make that. Yeah, I mean, I really have about here as the widest part of the wedge. Take that at the point of the breakdown, and that still sets us up for more downside. All right, the measured target would really bring us down to about there, which is 800. But I just don't think we get there in one single direction, just straight down. I think it's probably down, back test, then down. All right, so that's the way I'm leaning on that one. JP Morgan, this is a 5-minute chart, but the hourly chart, you've got bullish divergence on the RSI, and you have it on the PPO now as well, right there. So there's a downtrend line to watch on the hourly. All right, a break above that. I've got an alert set on this one. A break above that. That should be a buy signal, and we should see a rally. Where do we go to? Let me go to the daily chart. See, and we're right at the 200-day. It's just it's good support. First tag of the 200-day and over, well, since October of 2023. So over a year, almost a year and a half. First tag of the 200, you're probably going to bounce, all right? You don't have to, but there's good probability. I definitely put higher odds of a bounce here than a continued just plunge. After such a big plunge, that move's done, all right? We captured most of that on the downside. Profit was made. Now we need to recycle, all right? That's all I've got. I'm going to get the video out. Drop me a thumbs up. It does help the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.